Hello Scorpio, and here's what we have for your new moon to full moon reading, right? So your new moon for February 2023. What do we have actually going on for you? I'm feeling this card pretty strongly. I'm actually feeling two cards for you. It's the first time that's happened in my readings today. So what we're looking at is which areas of life you need to actually be focused on for this particular phase of the moon, and what spiritual advice is really coming through for you. So let's take a look at the spiritual advice that's coming through. Did you notice that? Boom. Interesting. Super interesting. Whew, Scorpio. I mean, like, you're no stranger to this card or this card, actually. So let's take a look at what's happening here. I feel like that's a storyboard that we can actually look at. So which area of life do you need to be focused on? Well, you're focusing on transits, right? There are relationships that are in flux, that are happening in ways that could be feeling like friction, and they can also be feeling like they're harmonious, but there are things that are, when we say transit, we could almost look at the transit card as being like transformational, as moving and changing, as how things are relating in this moment, and they won't always be relating the same way, right? These transits that happen are not going to be related the same way forever. They're just a transit. It's transitory, which means this is how it's going to be for this particular period of time. But there's something to do with your relationships, and this could actually have to do with something that is legally based, but it has to do with your relationships and connection to other people, and what is fair, what has to do with equanimity and being harmonious with these kinds of connections, right? So yes, this can be legal for some people, but I feel like this is more about the balance between everything. Now, the reason that I actually feel that this is a relationship related card is because of the two cards that we see here. So not that I want to perpetuate the idea that a lot of people actually have, just noticing that, not that I want to perpetuate the idea that a lot of people already have about the Three of Swords and it being like this heartbreaker card or whatever. This really just has to do with disappointments, like the kinds of disappointments that feel really disheartening, right? So perhaps you've been connecting with certain people, maybe you have something that's happening legally, and so this feels relevant to that, but there's something that's been occurring that feels like disheartening, and it's not to allow the disheartening aspects really affect you or pull you down. And part of your spiritual advice that comes with this, that's connected to this, right? These two are connected, right? They're not separate, they're connected, is this moon card, right? So I feel like this is really about you looking into your psyche and you really cleaning out the cobwebs and noticing what there is here for you to learn. If you're having some serious disappointment about this transitory period that you're going through with regard to like contracts or relationships that you're in, then I'm gonna say like there's something here for you to learn from this. And I know that's not like the ideal advice that most people really want to hear about. I'm sorry about that, but this is what it is there's a need to recognize what feels disappointing, what feels disheartening, what feels like a letdown, and then look into your psyche and notice like, what is the learning that I am supposed to extract from this here? How do I take this and not let it be like relegated to the dark corners of my life and be in like the skeleton closet, or like sweep it away into the corners or under the rug? You're meant to take what feels disheartening and to transform this, right? And to make sure that it doesn't get stuck in some like shadowy cycle of your psyche, but that you recognize what's there for you. And I feel like this is a really deep message, and I'm not surprised because you're Scorpio, but I wish that I could give you something lighter. Definitely check out what is going on with your entire month. Like look at your monthly reading for the month of February. I'll put that up here on the screen somewhere so that you can actually click on it. But I mean, and if you want something really specific to you, if just like you're like, this message is super resonating with me this month, but I want to know what it is specifically for me, then I would say a personal reading is the way to do that. All that information is down in the description box, so you can find that all there. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.